past few year questions of prelims examination specific in the polity and governance, there have been few topics which has been inspired from NCERT itself. For example, there's a question on right to vote, which right it is. So again, it is NCERT has mentioned as a constitutional right. And again, this is one major problem which students face while reading NCERTs. They read NCERT, at the very same time they start making notes. And in that note making process, they don't understand the concept. And that's the problem which we have addressed. You will get a very strong foundation of all basic conceptual topics around polity and governance.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of VisionIAS related to NCERT classes for UPSC preparation. And to talk about it, we have today an esteemed faculty of VisionIAS, Paritosh Sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Kapil.
Sir, as it has always been said, from ages I would say, that if you want to start your preparation for UPSC, start with the NCERTs. So why these NCERTs are so important?
So very rightly pointed out, Kapil, that again this is a narrative that again once you are starting to prepare for the examination, you should venture into class 6 to class 12th NCERT. It's a basic thing. So yes, it is very important because they build a very strong foundation around that topics only. If you navigate the syllabus of examination, many of the topics have been inspired which is there in these NCERTs. These NCERTs are of course published by the government. So of course they are government backed, the facts are correctly pointed out over there. So they help to build a very strong foundation for the examination.
And sir, if we talk about your subject, polity, so lot of students start with, let's suppose, Laxmikanth, whenever they start with UPSC preparation. So how does NCERT helps in polity and what challenges students face while covering NCERT for polity subject?
So I'll start with a basic idea around what subject polity is and what kind of challenges students usually face. That one thing is very important. Okay? Once you start preparation for the examination, you need to read newspapers. And once you open newspapers, what students usually must have been facing that again they read a lot of political news. For example, the recent news about election, the vice president, the Supreme Courts, but they don't know what exactly these topics are. And that's where the struggle starts. And then that is why it is told that you need to read NCERTs, which is giving you a basic foundation around that particular subject. So for polity, of course, NCERTs are important. The two NCERTs which I'd like to tell is completely required to study for examination is of class 11th. That is Indian Constitution at Work and Political Theory. Very beautiful NCERTs. The topics and the concepts have been explained in a very simple manner. Students can understand them. If maybe, let's say, if you're not able to understand the topics mentioned in those NCERTs, the students can refer the basic social and political life topics or the NCERTs of class 8, 9, 10, 10th. So these are the few NCERTs that are very important to build a strong foundation around the topic of polity.
Sir, as you mentioned, that they lay the foundations. But sometimes we do also see that the question sometimes comes directly from NCERT.
Yeah, of course. Right.
Are there cases like that for prelims and mains?
Yes. If you understand, if you look at the past few year questions of prelims examination specific in the polity and governance, there have been few topics which has been inspired from NCERT itself. For example, there's a question on right to vote, which right it is. So again, it is NCERT has mentioned as a constitutional right. For example, the ideas of differentiate between rights and duties. You can see that concept in political theory NCERT of class 11th. So yes, as they are very strong foundational concepts, so this is where you, with getting that knowledge of that particular concept, you can navigate any challenging question in the examination, which is built around the conceptual topic from polity and governance.
So, sir, VisionIAS has also understood the importance of NCERT, and we have brought this specific course of NCERT classes for UPSC preparation, and you have taken polities in these classes. Right. So, what student can expect from your classes, and how you have made it easy for student to understand these NCERTs?
So, I'll start answering this question by discussing the challenge first. What is the challenge here? So we tell that NCERTs are very much required to be read for the examination, and again students start reading NCERTs. Approximately they vote, maybe if you ask me the time which is required to cover this NCERTs, approximately let's say 1.5 months to cover basic polity NCERTs. But what is the result they get after reading that NCERTs for 1.5 months? what is their learning capability, how well they understood the topics. That's become a challenge. You devoted time, but still you are unclear regarding a lot of topics or a lot of concepts which you have read from these NCERTs. Then what is the use of reading NCERTs? And that's where we have filled that gap by launching this course, where again what we have done, we have briefly, we have not covered NCERTs class wise, we have navigated the entire topics which are mentioned in these NCERTs. We have made a lecture plan for polity. What I have done, I have made a lecture plan and I have introduced all such basic concepts inspired by these NCERTs in the manner they have been explained in NCERT, so that a student while going through such lectures can briefly and very easily understand the concept. For example, the idea of election, the idea of democracy, the idea of the three organs of the government, executive, legislature, judiciary, the idea of fundamental rights, all of these topics which you usually see in the newspapers on a day-to-day basis, and you don't understand those concepts, that has been dealt in these NCERT classes. Many times even students struggle to differentiate between an MP and an MLA, right? So what is the union government? What is the state government? Such basic concepts we have made understood in these particular lectures. So after attending these lectures, you get a basic understanding that what exactly you are going to see in these NCERTs. It doesn't stop there. Your task, or the student's task, would of course be, once you have understood the concepts in this NCERT classes, please go through and read those NCERTs. Then you will make more sense out of it, right? And that's where you end the task of reading NCERTs. Right, and of course, it is going to helping you a lot in terms of navigating the difficult topics of polity and governance per se.
So now going beyond content, like what you have mentioned is we have made the content in a manner that is more understandable and to comprehend better the concepts of polity. But we are giving more than just content. So can you throw some light on what more services we are providing other than content related to specific class of?
Right. So, Kapil, you understand one thing. We have read NCERTs in the beginning of our preparation. We are going to understand and carry that concept till the time we are writing the examination of prelims and mains. So, we are going to revise them. So, that's a problem where it starts. And again, this is one major problem which students face while reading NCERTs. They read NCERT, at the very same time they start making notes. And in that note making process, they don't understand the concept. Right. And that's the problem which we have addressed. That again, while you are reading these lectures, we have prepared a very summarized notes conceptually which are there in NCERTs through the structured notes. We are also giving quick revision notes as well in that particular area. And it does not stop there. As I discussed, and you also asked me that again, sir, our questions also asked yes. So which questions and the kind of questions which could be framed from that topic from these NCERTs based on the observation of previous year question. We are also going to give you some questions of prelims and mains nature, few assignment questions as well. That is going to navigate you and complete the entire journey of reading NCERTs from the examination perspective.
And if somebody wants to practice beyond class, so do we have something for that?
Of course, yes, we have come up with a Sandhan test platform, which is where you can create a personalized test of yours. Let's say you have read a chapter of fundamental rights and you want to solve questions from the chapter of fundamental rights only. So there is an option over there also. You can curate your own test. Let's say if I want to solve only fundamental rights question, and we have ventured one more step further to this. If you want to solve only previous year question, that option is also available. That is how you're going to get a very comprehensive package once you get this NCERT classes courses.
Okay, sir. So if I ask you to summarize, what outcomes or value additions can student expect from polity class of NCERT?
Again, you will get a very strong foundation of all basic conceptual topics around polity and governance for the topic of democracy, whatever topics I have mentioned, and in general also. Let's say we are reading NCERTs for 3 to 4 months, but again the preparation journey of course spans around a 12-month time, and in that span of 12 months you are not going to read all subjects at the very same time, but again newspaper reading is necessary. You are going to read newspapers every day. So with these NCERT subjects which you are going to cover in these classes, not just polity, for the entire thing, it is going to give you a very brief background of all basic core subjects of the UPSC, and that is going to help you a lot to bring a strong, build a strong foundation. And at the very same time, you don't feel alienated once you read current affairs or newspapers. So again, it is going to help in a lot of manner. And one thing again I will address that again, students usually bypass this step. So don't bypass any step. Every step has a meaning in the preparation journey. So we are going to climb up the ladder, not jump the ladder. That has to be the idea.
Thank you so much, sir, for guiding our aspirants. So, aspirants, I hope now you have a good clarity about this course of NCERT for UPSC preparation by VisionIAS. And if you want to know more, please do visit our website. Thank you.